if you're looking for the best camera settings and controller settings on FC26, you are going to want to press left on your analog stick to take you over to the screen, then press A or X. It's going to load you in, and then we are going to break down all of the settings, starting off with the gameplay settings in itself and the controller settings. Nitty-gritty of everything we need. So game settings. Straight away, you're going to want to have it on competitive, and make sure you don't have assisted, you have precision. It is completely manual, but I promise you, you will improve tenfold using this, and a lot of players are going to be using this. Wherever you put the stick is where the ball is going to go. You're going to want to have semi on through ball assistance, semi on lob through ball, ground pass assisted, cross assistance on assisted, lob pass on assisted. Now, player receiver, I prefer it on late. I know a lot of people want it on power up, or they want it on animation start. Basically, how this works is you can see that the player receiver is locked as late as possible around the same approximate time as when the ball's kicked. So when you're passing it, if you change your mind last second, it won't lock in. It will change to a different direction. So if someone marks that pass, you've got yourself there. Precision pass sensitivity. Now, I usually have this on normal, but you could mess around with it depending on what you want. But keep it on normal for now. If you find it's too slow, switch it to high, of course. Defending. Now, this is the most important one. You want to have clearance assistance on directional. So whichever direction you clear it is where it's going to go. If it's on classic, they will just keep kicking it up to the other half. Sometimes you want to kick it out for a throw-in to make a substitute. That's going to be the way to do it on directional. Then you're going to have advanced defending, tactical defending. Now, advanced defending I prefer the most because if you hold down A or X, what will happen is they'll do a shoulder or they'll seal them out. Whereas if you have it on tactical, A does nothing. It just sort of jockeys next to him. And I promise you, that's too easy to break down. So make sure you have that. Professional fouls you want to have on just in case you're playing a ratty opponent and they're breaking through. No harm in breakily getting a yellow card and stopping that attack. Pass block assistance, have that on. Switching. Now, this is really important. Don't have it on manual and don't have it on loose ball only. Have it on lobs, crosses, and loose balls. So, as you can see, FC26 is finally here, and if you need those FC points or FC coins, then you need to go over to Eldorado.gg. A little secret here for you guys. Use code NANIC. Get that 5% off on all of your orders. The beautiful thing about Eldorado is they have a money-back guarantee, where if you ever do get scammed or you feel like you're about to get scammed, they will guarantee your money back. Look at the Trustpilot reviews. As you can see here, one of the best, if not the best, current market prices as well. Don't forget to use code NANIC to get that 5% off, and let's get back into the video. See there, air balls and lobs. The reason being is, if the ball goes up in the air, it will switch you to the closest person. If you don't have that on, you could be pressing the button a lot to try find the player you want, and you could be behind. So the best one for me is always air balls and loose balls. Have it on none on auto switching movement. Right stick switching is going to be on classic, and have it to player relative, not ball relative. Reason being is, if you notice there's a runner at the top of the pitch and you've got it on ball relative, it's going to stick closest to the ball, not to the player that's running. Whereas you have it on player relative, you can switch to the person at the top of the screen that's making the run to defend that, or have the runner in midfield, etc. So you just have yourself covered way more. Sensitivity is completely down to you. I have it on 4, but you may want to play around with that for your own. Have it on classic as well, which is just when you press LB or L1, it's just going to swap it normally. You can switch that to closest to ball or goal side. Now, I have it on classic. I may end up changing that later on down the line. You have to watch the live stream to know. Real-time calibrations, it's the same thing as always, and you can change the settings on that. Player locks you want to have on because it's going to be really, really useful this year. So when you click in both of your analog sticks, and then you can switch another person to play it to. Then we have dribble. We have simplified skill moves. That's a new thing in this year. I would have it off, but if you're not great at skill, it basically means if you were to do a skill move that you're not great at, there's an easier way to do it, but it means your player doesn't control it as well, so just keep that in mind, but have it off anyway. It's always good to practice the skill moves. Goalkeeper is always as it is. It doesn't really make too much difference. Then we have analog sprint. Now, I have this off because I like to use right trigger. As you can see, the analog sprint allows you to control how fast your player sprints. The further you hold down, the quicker they run. So if you only hold it down a little bit, they don't sprint completely. You might as well go full speed and nothing less. They're the controller settings. Now, when we get into ourselves in terms of camera, these are what I run with. So we are going to run with, of course, we're going to have it on single player, and we're going to have tele-broadcast. Ultimate competitive camera, it's a brand new one. That's down to you. I'm going to turn it off personally. I'm not the fan of it. I prefer having this camera angle to that camera angle. See if you like it though. Like I say, it is brand new, and then you are going to have the same as me. So you're going to have tele-broadcast on all of them. The reason why I like it is because they're quite close to the camera, and you can really left stick dribble. Now, player career mode, it's down to you what you want, but I just keep it on all the same. So we're going to have tele-broadcast. The same, believe it or not, for the clubs, pro clubs tele-broadcast as well, right? Rush makes no difference. If you want to play that side, if you want to play that way, that's down to you. I'm going to have it on broadcast. Be a goalkeeper, you have pro, or you have telly, have a pro, of course. Power shot zoom, I absolutely hate this. Every time you take a power shot, the camera zooms in. I turn that off. I don't want that on. And then we have ourselves customization. Now, you want to have this on custom, and how I play this is I have everything on 10 or 0. So we are going to have this on zoom 0. Height is going to be at 10. The reason why we have zoom on 0 is because we're really close. Pro camera is the same thing. We're just going to have that down to 0, 0, and the camera swing on 0. We don't want the pro cam swing on at all when you're playing pro clubs. And that's essentially it. Now, if you find that you're too close, knock this up to 10, obviously, and then you're going to have your way that way. Then the last thing is going to be on visuals. Now, you have contextual or off. This is down to your ping and connection. It's going to be in the middle of the screen. I like to have it on. You also have input delay, whether you want controller or 2 controllers or whatever you prefer to have. You can have that on there. The score clock, self-explanatory. We also have ourselves the clock drop down. Now, I actually recommend turning these off because it is going to lag your game out. The same for the scoring lineups. You can turn that off. And the same for the hypermotion insights. If you turn all of those off, your game will run smoother, but you don't get all the fancy visual stuff, just so you know. Also the same, if you want to have the tactical, the radars, we used to call it, now it's called a chalkboard. I keep that on. The same for tactical notifications. I turn it off so it tells you whether you want to make a substitution or a change. Then we have ourselves, whether you want to have weak foot on or off, turn that on, because then if you don't know your players very well, you're going to know what's their dominant foot and what isn't. The same for the skill moves. You're going to know if they're 4-star skill moves, 5-star skill moves. Playstyle plus icons down to your personal preference. So when you do a playstyle plus, it will activate. You'll know it works, but you can always turn that off. I like to have it on. And the same for the brand new objectives. Whether you completed them or not, it's down to you. Obviously, you want to keep them on to track them. Then we have our new thing now, where you can have enabled overhead wherever you want it. Now, I'm going to have it just enabled, where it just has the player bar and nothing else. The same for the player name. I like to have it on large. You can have it on whatever you like. That one doesn't really matter. The same for contain. When you have it on or off, it means basically if you're pressing second man press or not will be indicated. And then we got the same thing for player switching. Player-based difficulty indicator if you want that. Gamer tag, if you want the gamer tag on or off, I usually have it off because I stream, but you guys can do what you want. Celebrations, you can actually turn them off or keep them on. Hold to skip. Precision pass visuals. We have precision shooting. I recommend keeping that on, especially if you're running precision. Then we have underfoot displayed highlight, always on or displayed off, depending on what you want. That basically just means whether you're in a game, it's going to indicate whether it's going to go, where the ball's going to go, essentially. It was up to you. Communication system you can have on, and then again, the same for a ping system. Radar, want it 2D or 3D, is down to you. The color of it is all there as well. And we have the goal nets, etc., etc. Mesh. Now, if you're sick of stadium shadows, turn that off. It's going to be in visuals. Don't have it on. It's the most annoying thing ever, so get rid of it. Camera shake, get rid of that as well. And POV camera, that's completely down to you. Color blindness is your thing, brightness, etc. And that's essentially where we are going to be with this. If you do have any more questions or something about some specific settings, let me know, but this is all going to be online only. You got your CPU sliders there as well and your game type. But just to recap, you are going to want to have this all on precision, etc. And you're going to have your camera where they are. More personal preference, but I like to sit really close for left stick dribbling. And I will catch you in the next video.